All right, welcome back. We are live, and Ian is very fitting again that I am in the middle of nowhere, in my truck on my laptop, and didn't even like schedule the stream or anything. In fact, you know what? Maybe I should put the link for this in like one of the chats so that somebody.
Yeah, probably could, but no worries. Let me
But
see here.
let's talk about. Well, since I have such a poverty tier mic right now, why don't you tell the peeps at home what the theme of the stream is going to be about tonight?
Oh, the theme of the stream tonight. I'm glad you asked. The theme. That's how life is going right now. No, that's how the economy is going. It's tanking. No, the economy is kind of tanking, but the crypto market doing pretty good. So we'll see what's going on with that. But the theme tonight is right now the tech market is taking a dive. It is the recession in the marketplace for certain areas, while other areas are kind of rebounding. They've already hit their bottom. So it's very interesting to see how that dynamic is occurring. It's almost like the tech market is following the economy now late versus usually the tech market is the one that booms first, right? And then
Mhm.
everything else booms with it. But it's like the reverse. It's like an inverse. It's like an inverse effect of what we experienced in the beginning of the bull market, where everything was going sky high, and we were like, everything is good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, Google having their Google and all these other tech companies like what was the other one? Amazon laying off people, Facebook
Microsoft
laying off,
too.
Microsoft laying off
Facebook.
people, a lot. What was the other one? There was another one I was thinking of that
Dude,
the
there's actually been a bunch of like random kind of
LinkedIn.
like LinkedIn,
Yep.
a bunch of random like smaller companies that no one even knows like
Hmm.
really anything about that had a pretty good amount of like layoffs too.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting, dude? Microsoft laid off like what was it, 10 or 12,000 employees,
Hmm.
and at the same time they invested. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I get this right.
Cody Mouse is killing me. Oh my god. My job. No. My wife will kill me.
So Microsoft, Microsoft invested into Chat GPT, right? But I'm trying to look
Yes.
for the number. Multi-billion-dollar investment. It was like I want to say it was like 10 or 15 billion. It might have been like 150 billion.
Yo, that's
Uh,
wild.
but if you think about it, with the amount of people that they laid off, that was like, bro, that was basically their salary right there.
Yeah.
If
It
they could
was their
afford to invest
salary.
that much, they could afford to invest that much in an AI bot.
Yep.
Uh, but they laid all those people off.
Yep.
I don't
It's really
know.
sad. It's really telling you how they value. I'm telling you, man, the way the company moves tells you what they think about you. Like, really.
Yeah,
What was that other company who was trying to make people feel good, and then they still fired them? Can't remember the name of that company. Was that Google? I can't remember.
I don't know. Probably like
There's
all of them,
another
dude.
one. Go ahead.
Like all of them, dude. They do that dirty stuff where they're like, we really value you as an employee.
Yeah, exactly.
Our company love and family and cherish forever. And then they're like the next day, oh, it's such a hard decision for us, but we had to let everybody go. I'm so sorry. I take full responsibility as the CEO. I take full responsibility for laying you all off, except I just don't want to take the actual responsibility of cutting my salary back or anything
Yep.
else that would be
Yep.
required to keep you around.
Yep.
Cody Moosen, who says, I actually want to stream about this. You're seeing the ramifications of working for a company that doesn't produce anything. Cody, hop on, dude. I'll DM you the link.
One
You mind if I
hundred
click on?
percent. 100% correct. That is that is accurate. Hey, and also the worst part about that was just like you said, they're not changing their own lifestyle. They're still gonna keep their severance packages, all the beautiful bonuses they got and everything. They're not changing a damn thing. Pardon my French. You can't curse anymore on YouTube. That's another thing. I think YouTube say they were also having the layoffs, and I think YouTube made some layoffs, but I haven't seen the official report. But maybe that's because Google, when they let people go, it's within the subsidiaries as well. Maybe that's what it is.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure. I
I don't
know
trust
Instagram
anyone.
did. I know Instagram did. They said they let go a lot of people.
Well, okay, so Instagram is part of Meta, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Which is Facebook, which is
Yep.
a bunch of like lizard people. But uh,
Yeah.
of course, all the lizard people are going to lay people off. What do you think
Hmm.
about? that whole the Meta thing going on right now, like, is it still? I know it's not like cool and crazy anymore. Like they changed their name to Meta and they're trying to get into the Metaverse TM. But okay, what did I hear the other day? The earnings ratio of Alphabet Google was like the worst in its lifetime, I think.
What?
And then also something similar happened with Facebook, but it wasn't about anything that had to do with their equity. It was something else. But it's like when you're a kid 10 years ago, not that we were kids 10 years ago, but you would think like never, ever, ever will those companies ever start going down, period. But dude, it kind of looks like you can kind of start to see a future now that it might exist without those companies in it.
Yep. I can see a future without Facebook Meta. I think that's very possible, especially with how much money they lost in the Metaverse. I can't believe I'm saying Metaverse like Metaverse. I just realized how that sounded. Like, wait, which one's the right one? Yeah, it's that one. Oh,
dude,
man.
I gotta say this though. I think a lot of the positions at those tech companies, and not all, okay. And I was telling the people in a webinar that we had on Thursday that Tuesday. Not all of these positions were what I'm about to say, but I'm willing to bet a majority of them were. A lot of these positions, they probably weren't like hard engineer positions. If they were in quote unquote hard engineering position, it was probably one of the developers type of scenarios where like you're not doing anything all day long. You're just kind of like on the payroll, so they can kind of keep their numbers as how many like engineers they have up. And if that's the case, of course you're going to be some of the first to go, right? Somebody in my group used the term button pushers, and like, not, this isn't to put anybody down or anything, but like, man, like those are the people that are going to be the first to go. And the companies that are like allowing all that stuff to go on, like, it's not, they were never really doing anything of actual value anyway. What up, Cody Moose?
What up?
What's up, bro?
Surprise. Yeah, he said he wanted to talk about it, so I figured we just let him come on in.
Yeah, so I was going to do a stream about this, and I still might, but so I work for 2 private companies, right? And the exact opposite of what's been going on in the IT industry has been happening internally for us, right? So we're looking for like mid to senior level people, but we're still hiring people. We're still making, like, hitting above our projected revenue. Like, we're still making money right now when everyone else in, Facebook or, Meta or Microsoft are laying people off or whatever the case may be. It's just pretty obvious about what's going on. And that's why I think people should kind of be a little bit wary about working for these big tech companies, is that it might happen. Like, it's bound to happen. Honestly, unless you're like,
tell them what you mean by it's, I know what you're talking about, but tell them what you mean by it's obvious about what's going on.
Well, just the fact that like these companies are not producing anything. Like, they're not producing anything as far as like they're not releasing new products. They're not contributing to society and making things better. So they're not going to be making money. Like, this is money just like printed out of thin air, or money from, their stock price or VC. Well, probably not VCs at Microsoft level, but it's just, but it's clear to see.
They're part of the and hold on, Chad Donor Schwantz in the house again says hello, fellow early life section respecters. Yeah, thank you, Chad. Donor Schwantz in the house. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, it's part of the whole like skeleton company thing too, right? And like the big problem that it's easy to say, like, a company that has like a great app idea and has never developed any code and literally has done nothing, right? They just got money from like round 1 seed investors and been alive for like 5 years and has done nothing. It's easy to see why that company, which might have like $1 billion total market cap evaluation, could just disappear overnight because they're not doing anything, right? It's harder to see with places like Facebook and Google and Instagram, which, yeah, I know it's Facebook, but whatever, you guys get what I'm talking about, because they've already had like this established like presence in tech for over 10 years, right? So like I don't know how many people actually sit and think like what are they actually doing to make money? And what Cody said was really important not too long ago. They haven't done anything new. maybe Mark Zuckerberg is like, hey, let's change our name to Meta and let's get into the metaverse. But like, do they have any code for it? Do they have any? Do they have a metaverse? I think they do, but it's like a quasi metaverse and it's crap compared to like
yeah,
other things, right?
it
So
looks like a Second Life, but worse. Like this is worse. I saw a picture of it. I was like, that's it. It's over. That I think that one picture someone showed of it being used was enough to kill it.
I've seen a video of it before. I've seen a video. Question here. Mark Phil says, does this make it harder to get a job as an entry-level developer? Cody, somebody in the group got a junior dev position today, right?
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, Cody, do you think you can answer this one for this guy?
I think it does on some level. Obviously, you know, we were looking at like a year or two ago, they were hiring junior devs like crazy. Like they didn't care. As long as you could code, they were hiring you. They don't care. And even then, like
not knowing how to code.
Even if you couldn't code, they were hiring you. But it's definitely going to, I think it's going to revert back to being more skill based. Like if you're a junior dev, but you're good at being a junior dev or even a mid-level dev, I think you're not going to have a problem finding a job realistically. Now, of course, getting that initial interview, like if your resume is like, you know, your background is like something outside of IT, companies are going to be a little bit hesitant to want to even move forward with your application, of course. But as long as they give you the time of day and give you the interview and you can nail the interview and nail the technical side, they're going to hire you. Like they just need people that are skilled still. I mean, and then like there's a chance that these people at these companies that they're laying off aren't exactly the most skilled developers ever. Now, some have, like at a recent company or at someone that I work for, we just took in a meta developer, and that guy's very smart, actually.
Good.
Like he's really intelligent. And I'm like, I don't know if he was part of the layoffs or he just decided to leave when everyone was getting laid off. I don't know the story, but I'm like, why is this dude like not still working there? Because he's pretty smart. But you know, long story short, I do think it's still possible for a junior dev to get a job. You just have to work harder, basically, than you did a year or two ago.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and that pretty much like coincides with everything we've been talking about in like the last couple webinars. When people ask the same thing, like, yeah, is it going to be harder? Yeah. Is it impossible? No, definitely not. And like I know that for certain because I know quite a good bit of people have gotten jobs in like the last 6 months, the last 12 months. Now the 6 months prior to the last 6 months might have been still a little bit easier, but you know, God damn it, kids! Back in my day, all right, it was like it was hard for everyone to get a junior dev position, and there wasn't anywhere near as many junior dev positions available. You either have to be someone like Cody said that is talented enough at being a junior dev to get that job, or you have to show that you're at least smart and like driven enough to give the company some value that they're willing to invest in you. Because another thing about these entry level and junior dev positions, they almost all time, these companies, if they're smart, right? And this, if they're smart, which not a lot of companies are, but the good ones that are smart, they're going to think to themselves, they're already going to know before they hire a junior position, whoever we hire, we're probably going to have to invest 6 to 12 months in time alone, just training this person around our system. Like, even if you already know how to code. So they don't want to, and let's just say it doesn't work out and you fucking suck and they have to fire you. Then they just wasted 6-12 months worth of money on you, right? And their time, and they got to go through the whole process again. So like, even if you're not the best, but you can show them that you have a good aptitude, you're willing to learn, and you're willing to get some work done, and that you know how to do a for loop, at least, like for the love of God, then you know, it's going to be hopeful. But yeah, it's definitely going to be harder, not impossible. And then Draw Wad has a similar question. Says, do you think software as a service jobs will still be available, SaaS jobs? So, I mean, could you clarify the question? Do you just mean like random software services in general, or what? And I guess whenever you clarify it, we can get back to that. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, man, it's cool. It's a weird time it's a weird time we're in right now. So I'm used to every interruption at this point. Everything's going down. I'm like, wake up one morning, look at the stocks, look at the crypto. I'm like, oh, it's going up. Okay, I'm gonna have a little hope. You know, cautiously optimistic.
He says yes. All right. So real quick, let me get on this one real quick.
Oh, no worries.
So yes and no. Like, are there going to be no software as a service jobs available? No, there'll always going to be software as a service jobs. I mean, dude, I can give you some work if you need to, honestly, for like $200 if you want right now. But last year, and probably more so the year prior, we saw a large influx of like new companies popping up everywhere, right? Everybody had an idea, everybody had a bunch of money going around, and everybody was having money thrown at them. So all these people were trying to get things automated, because when you start a business, it not requires, but it's easier to have things automated, right? And also you need like a website. And on top of that, there's always like overlying maintenance. So that created a large unnatural influx of random software as a service jobs. And I just think that for now, and for the time being, it's going to contract a little bit and just go back to the way that it was.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and I think.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, Cody.
I think a lot of, in general, a lot of as a service like providers, they're pushing towards more of that side anyway, at least from what I've seen. So like infrastructure as a service, or like monitoring as a service, or whatever as a service flavor you're going to be working with this month has increased. So they're trying to push people away from self-hosted programs and self-hosted solutions, and they're trying to push them towards, their SaaS oriented, for lack of a better term, SaaS oriented stuff, because they want them on their platform so they can, manage their own stuff, and they don't have to hire people to do help desk for them, and they can just manage all of your stuff. Basically, it's a lot easier on their side, and they make a ton more money on their side because they get discounts from like the big cloud providers. So they can just be like, you know what, we'll just charge you on the back end for it. You pay X amount of dollars a year, and here you go. You don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to hire an engineering team to manage your infrastructure or manage your software as a service. So SaaS isn't going anywhere, in my opinion, at least not for the time being, until people start realizing SaaS isn't a great idea. But that's another conversation for another day. But
until ChatGPT just starts doing it all.
Oh my god!
yeah.
Oh my god!
You want to get to that one next, Yen?
Yeah, let's talk about that. This ChatGPT stuff is getting out of control. So today they made an announcement earlier this morning. They said now they're offering a service. So this is going to be kind of insane, where they are offering $20 per month. You can get priority.
ChatGPT as a service.
Yeah, ChatGPT as a service.
Dude, you know what? When all of a sudden they had a large influx of users and suddenly the servers started going down every 2 seconds, I knew something seemed a little sus about that. A little sus.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
So now if you use it, you pay for it, whatever. You get that premium, priority, and there'll be no interruptions, and it won't be slow and won't be crashing or whatever. And I think what's going to happen, this is my prediction, if you're using it for free, you're going to be waiting a little bit longer than you anticipated. Whatever that stretch of, like, they're going to try first the little, like, something that's not that noticeable, and then they're going to slow it down, and they're going to slow it down. They're going to slow it down. They know this culture. We live in a what is that called? A instant gratification culture. So people, they want, now. So if it's not working now, it's gonna really agitate, and that's when you're gonna start seeing people pay for it. They can start paying out of their pocket.
They got everybody with the 1-2 punch. They gave out this like really awesome free thing, and then they had every single YouTube influencer talk about it, and then they're like, all right, yeet, and they're gonna pull that, and they're like, now you got to pay for it. It's the 1-2 punch. It's the 1-2 punch of IT. I knew it was going to happen.
It's like first hit is free. Is that not how it goes?
Yeah.
If you guys saw, I don't know if you guys saw the stream I did. I mean, dude, that people are like, I see, like, I go on YouTube like 2 days after like disappearing for like 2 weeks, and I see 1,000 thumbnails like ChatGPT is gonna take the world. I'm like, all right, why is everyone freaking out about this shit when all of a sudden, when before, like, this has been around for a while. There was plenty other chatbots, not just like that, but that you could use that were similar. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Go and use it. I mean, yeah, you can definitely use it to speed up some tasks that you're doing, but that shit's not like writing anyone else's code anytime soon.
No.
I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong and ignorant about that, but that's just as of now. Unless they got something else that, like, we don't know about, which I'm sure they do. But
my concern is when it starts to code itself. That's when I'm like, all right, guys, you gotta shut it down. Shut it down.
If it started coding itself, that shit would be so buggy.
That's what I'm thinking, dude. Okay, so somebody who was it, Adam Cody in the DD chat that said like something like I heard that once it can start upgrading itself, that it's going to not, and they weren't talking about ChatGPT, they're just talking about AI in general. They're so and so he was saying, I think he said that Jordan Peterson said that as soon as AI can start upgrading, I'll do this in Jordan Peterson voice. As soon as the AI is going to upgrade itself, then it's all over, kids. We're gonna go. But if you have AI that is like supposed to work the way that we believe we understand how AI works, then there is no like upgrading, right? It just already has the functionality to learn mistakes and to delete previous memory, I guess, and or take in new data, right? So at that point, like it would just have the need to say it should already have to be able to do basic logic, right? And on top of that, maybe more complex logic, right? Any type of logic that you can write with code, it can do that. And then at that point, it just needs what? Data. So if you ask it a question or it needs to go accomplish something, it doesn't have the data, well, it's not gonna be able to do it, right? So I think if anything, it'd be the fact that this stuff might like contain so much or you have access to so much data is what's more scary than like it actually upgrading itself. What do you think?
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, one, you gotta consider the quality of data that it's getting too. So
That's true.
what's to say that it's correct? You know what I mean? It might think it's correct because everyone's confirming that it's correct, but what if it's actually, the sky is red and now it believes the sky is red, so it's going to continue to upgrade on that principle until it gets to a point where it's like all of this is true because the sky is red, and then you're like, well, the sky isn't red, so what is going on? So that's another thing. Like the quality of data matters a lot with AI. I'm not gonna lie, I've been quite heavily using ChatGPT. One for work, and two for just exploratory purposes in general.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to consider when people are like, oh my god, AI is gonna take over the world. I do think it's gonna be like the new like grift. Basically, it's gonna be the new grift. Everyone's gonna sell a product involving AI because it's a buzzword. And now that it's already, YouTube's already primed the thumbnails and the oh my god faces, and it's going to steal our jobs. So now, of course, the new grift is going to come in, and they're going to be like, I can give you access to ChatGPT with this one simple trick, and then that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it is a really powerful tool for developers in general because it is like a supercharged Google that gives you a direct answer at exactly what you need. No more clicking through 8 million links.
Yep.
Where you have to like find the information and then verify it with another link and then go to Stack Overflow and make sure that this works correctly. ChatGPT is just like, yeah, it's probably this. Here it is. And then if it's wrong, you just be like, hey, that wasn't right. This is what I got. And then it corrects its answer. And 9 times out of 10, it's pretty right. So I like it for that aspect.
It just can't tell you the temperature outside. That's
yeah, I mean, it can't tell you anything. What is it? Anything past 2021? So anything current, like it can't do. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how it's going to develop. We'll see what happens with the users themselves, how that's going to affect them psychologically. I think it might induce some laziness because some people.
Oh yeah,
it's weird. It's weird. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Some people already adjusted.
It's like what's a good way to like a good thing to compare this to? So if you writing code, man. If you write code regularly, you get you get fine-tuned, right? And yeah, maybe you did it for 20 years and maybe you stop for 5 years and you'll still know how to do a for loop, right? You'll still know how to read like logic and stuff, but it's going to be like hard if you were spending the last 5 years getting a chat to write all the code for you to like actually have to do something organically yourself. Same thing with like writing an essay, because I heard high school kids and college kids are using it for all that stuff.
Oh no. Yeah, that's gonna be bad. I don't code, but I use it like to see if it does better functions for Excel for formulas. And sometimes it'll come out, all right, that's a pretty good one. And then sometimes it'll come out and you're like, what? This is too long. Let's do this. How about this? And you're like, oh no, I'm doing its job for it. I'm not gonna. I caught myself the other day. I'm like, nah, I can't help this thing.
I would let it do that for me for sure, dude. I would. Jaw Wide also says, what are your thoughts on the Twitter picture that shows before and after Elon? He got rid of all of the useless jobs.
The blow. Ooh.
You guys know what he's talking about?
I haven't seen the picture yet. I'll have
Before
to
and
look at that.
after. Yeah, I don't know about the picture, but
Oh, is
I
that the one
mean,
with the girls on the first one, and then the other one is all the
oh,
dudes, all the
yeah,
engineers on the other one?
if that's the one he's talking about,
Let me
yeah,
see
That's
if I can
dope.
I
find it.
remember
I
that
mean,
one.
that's terrible. That was it's
Dude, but
not.
that's how these companies operate, man. This is not just Twitter. This
Mm,
is Microsoft. This is Google. This
yep.
is every other woke company under the sun. This is definitely Meta. Like, they haven't produced anything. These companies that aren't producing anything, that's their engineering teams. Those are the people they're hiring. The
Mhm.
people that don't do anything and just consume money. They just consume money and they pay them exorbitant amounts of money to do nothing, to basically be an adult daycare. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
Here
It's
we go.
definitely adult daycare. It's like,
Is this
yeah,
what
there you
is
go.
this what he's talking about?
That has to be it. It's
It's,
what do they call it? Bloat. They're calling it bloat companies,
yeah.
bloat jobs. Getting
Yep.
rid of all the
this is
bloat.
before and after the layoffs, right?
Uh,
Okay, makes sense.
I like the thumbs up too. That's pretty funny.
What do you think about
It's
it?
symbolic.
I mean, dude, what do I think about it? Common sense, dude.
Yeah.
Button pushers. I mean, I'm sorry, but
Yeah. Dude,
you
that was
know,
the best. That was the best coin term ever. The button
Bloat.
pushers.
that was a
Oh,
good.
the button
Who's
pushers.
Ryan? Who's Ryan from
Yeah,
Elevate
it's
Property doing
Ryan.
that? That's right.
Yeah.
Damn, that is right. What up, Eric G? Guys, he was the one. He was the one who was asking about they could get a junior job earlier. Mr. Mark Phil, Eric G over here just got a junior job today. So kudos to you,
Congrats.
Eric. A bowl of stew says a general purpose AI won't take off. It will be forced specialize of different data sets and use cases of a generalist algorithms supervised by humans. Unsupervised learning isn't there yet. How would you? Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to implement quote unquote unsupervised learning. You know, I think you have to be like so what do you call it when like a dog looks in the mirror and it doesn't realize it's like the first time it's like, whoa, what is that? It doesn't know that it's not
It's not
self-aware.
self-aware. Yeah.
The term, it's a different term other than self-aware though, right? It's like it's one word. You guys,
Sentient.
I don't know. There's no sentient. Yeah.
Is it sentient? Yeah.
Do you think that being quote overemployed is still possible in the tech industry? I don't know, Cody. Do you think it's possible? Working two remote jobs at the same time? I've heard some people working in the cloud engineering and SaaS. Cody, I think you got this one.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple of people doing that. I'm not gonna drop any names, but there are definitely people out there still doing it. Obviously, it's a little bit easier in some jobs than others. Like, if you're, I don't know, maybe like a PM, I probably would say it's pretty hard to do. But some technical roles are more laid back. Like if you're a senior dev somewhere, you're probably not like putting hands on keyboard too much. You're kind of just directing other people to do stuff. So I could see in that position, yeah. Or if you're a senior dev doing 2 junior positions, maybe that's like way above or way below your capability. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. People are still doing it. Absolutely, people are still doing it. And I think I think people were doing it way before the whole, 2 jobs overemployed trend started. I think people have been doing this for years and now people are just bringing light to it and they're all like, ah, damn it. Now I got to be careful about what I'm doing. But I mean, I definitely think it's possible.
Yeah. Well, we know it is. So we got somebody in the UK doing it right now, but he's about to be like on his 3rd month and I think he's going to quit one of them anyway. He's like, screw it. Don't need it anymore.
I agree with you. I think it's like quiet quitting when quiet quitting was becoming a topic. That's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Forever. I was like, that's what it's called?
Anybody who just like just get it, they just got it. They just knew like, hey, these companies are just going to use me. So like, fuck you, suck a dick and die. Just like that. They might take advantage of the company back, of course, I would never do that. I was never like that. I love every company I've ever worked for.
Like,
yeah,
I'm all about company culture.
For
exactly
sure.
What I want.
The family thing.
Me too. Especially if it's like, like a federal agency. I love it even more. It's like my favorite,
Yeah, well, absolutely.
I'll tell you one thing. I remembered, what was it? Office Space. Was it Office Space? Yeah, Office Space, the movie. That woke me up. I said, "Oh my god!" So it is a thing. You know what I mean? That's when I knew it was a thing because I've seen it, but I've never said anything about it. I'm like,
I watched that again in my adult years because I watched it when I was a kid. I had no context of what that was. I watched it again like a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh my God, that was literally like my last job. Like that's exactly what happened. It was just great. It's just
It's
great to see.
therapeutic.
Yeah.
Every adult should watch it. Every
Absolutely.
every
If it's
man
been a
should.
long time, like if you haven't watched that movie since you're like a teenager or a kid, watch it again as an adult. I assure you, you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's right about everything.
Hey, that also works for dates because I got a date when I told the girl, hey, I hate this fucking place. You want to go get a part of my French? Girls on your channel. I was like, I hate this place. You want to get a bite to eat? That was pretty funny. So yeah, that works. Commiserate.
Funny how life works. It's a lot of things are like that. But that's what I think. A lot of it was like, and when does that movie take place? It takes place in like the 90s, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think mid to late 90s. Yeah, I think
This
so.
was
Right
like
before
the
internet. Right around
yeah.
the internet time. Like
Okay.
internet AOL 1 or 2.0 or something. Yeah.
Because it came out in like the early 2000s, right? The movie.
Yeah.
And it took
Yeah.
place like probably early to mid to like maybe late 90s. So like imagine like dude, so they fucked up, dude. They fucked up. Imagine how like everyone thought that was normal, dude. Everyone thought that it
Yep.
was normal to like you know, you go to middle school, then you go to high school, and you go to college, or you don't. And then you have like all this freedom when you're in high school and college, and then all of a sudden you have to get a job, and then you're like you're stuck basically like the same way back when you were kindergarten. You're like, everybody get to your cubicles. Rule number 7210: don't forget to bring your work phone with you when you go to the bathroom, just in case. Blah blah. And it's like you're basically like a slave in a factory, man.
Yep.
I had that hugest realization when I graduated school and I got my first job, and it was like had to go to work, was in a cubicle, dude. I was like, this is not worth it. I literally would probably rather just be homeless, like in the woods, dude, or something. It was not worth it, dude. Now, at the time being, it wasn't worth it. And I think for me personally, holding out and then just like moving on to bigger, better, it was like that stepping stone, right? But like everything was normal like that back then, and I think that was part of a lot of the quiet quitting people that were actually quiet quitting. It's because they kind of just knew in their head, like, hey, this isn't like maybe this is how it's supposed to be, but this isn't how I want it to be, you know?
Yeah,
absolutely.
man. It's a wake up call for people. They're like, oh Jesus. So
Yeah. It took me much longer than it took you, but I also had that moment. I attributed it to like, this is just how the army is, and then I got into the real world. And I'm like, wait a minute, like this is fucked, guys.
Oh, something's not right about this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yo,
I think go ahead, sorry.
well, I was gonna talk about something else, but if you wanted to, if you're still talking about it.
Well, I was gonna say that I think COVID kind of I shouldn't have said that goddamn word. Katana. I slip sometimes.
It's
I hate
Ukraine now. It's Ukraine. Like,
Is it
it's
Ukraine
fine.
now? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, when COVID happened, I think that moment when they're at home, people are at home and they're with their families, they start, a lot of people realize, what mattered the most to them, because they're like, I'm at home in front of this goddamn computer. I've never seen more people retire, than that moment, that year, 2020 and 2021. A lot of people I knew who were like holding out, like, oh, I'm trying to make it to 65 and get the most of my whatever pension. And they're like, fuck this. I'm out. 63, I'm out of here. It's terrible, but it is what it is. So, yeah, man.
Oh crap! I forgot what I was gonna say. All right,
I did it.
You
I'm
keep going.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Because now I want
No.
to talk about that. Now I want to talk about that stuff. But
Yeah. It was either you completely like realized how much of a sham everything was, or you realized how much of a sham your home life was, and you're like, I just want to spend the rest of the every waking moment at whatever job I'm doing right now.
Yep.
There's like no in between. It was just...
Yep. It's crazy. I think also this recession thing kicking in on people. It's like, it's weird. Oh yeah, you were gonna talk about that? All right, go for it.
No, I was gonna ask. Okay, so how do you think? I was gonna ask you an opinionated question. So, do you think first of all, back to the layoffs and the recession? Do you think that? And I'm not talking about any of the smaller random companies we might not know. Do you think any of the big FANG companies and or companies adjacent to them still have more large amount of layoffs left to do, or that they will do this year?
I think
Yes.
so. I think some big companies will. Sorry, go ahead.
Give me some numbers, guys. Give me some numbers. What do you think?
Man, I would not be surprised if we get into the mid six figures. Maybe not mid six figures, but a little bit past the 100,000. I would say like 200,000, if not more than
Okay,
that.
because I was hearing I hear some people saying we're in the millions, dude.
Oh,
100. I heard somebody say
oh man.
that this is going to
That would
cause
be
a
bad.
cascading effect of over 100 million people like unemployed after this, and I think only 150 million people are quote unquote like of working age in the United States and or working, right?
Oh my god.
Well, that's when I retreat to the woods because my job will probably go away.
You best
Yeah.
believe. Mine might not, but I leave anyway. So you know.
Oh my god, dude. It's gonna be
Okay,
like
so
2008.
200,000. I wouldn't. When that guy was saying that, I still think like 200,000. That would surprise me, but it didn't, because this other person that I was listening to was saying what I had just said. So, I would also say, and this might be ignorant. I would also say like I wouldn't be surprised if they don't anymore, but I also wouldn't be surprised if 150 million people lost their jobs too. So at this point, it fucking makes sense, right?
Pretty much anything could happen right now. Anything can
Yeah,
happen. I mean, we're only starting to see like the downturn of the market, like because I've been following the real estate market pretty closely because I'm a millennial trying to scoop up a good trying to scoop up a nice property. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I've been paying attention to the real estate market, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, everything's gonna bounce back in 2023. Don't worry about it." And I'm just like, guys, I don't know, bro. Like, this is not looking good. Like, straight up. You even have you even have people who work in the industry now that are finally like, "Hey, this is getting kind of rough now. Like, I don't think this is a good career choice anymore." So I think we have yet to see what's to come. I mean, we haven't even hit like record unemployment levels yet. So
oh man, you're right.
Yeah,
it's not at 2008 levels yet. That's when I'll start to think, okay, I think we might be okay now. You know what I mean? Like the worst might be over. I feel like we're in the eye of the storm. You know what I mean? Like it's not as bad as it could be right now, but wait, you know what I mean? Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where it gets to like previous levels and everyone's going to kind of relax and be like, all right, like it's probably going to get better. And then it's just going to get exponentially worse for a real short amount of time. And people are going to be like, oh my God, it got worse. And then it'll slowly start to, because that's how every market has been working.
Yep.
Every market has been like, all right, yeah, like we're pretty low, but I think now we're good. And then right after people start thinking we're good, boom, then it's another downturn. Any market, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's been in the last couple, because that's where we're at right now at real estate. Like we're like, all right, things are pretty low, rates are pretty high, inventory's coming back up, but I think we're good here. And I think it's just going to fall off a cliff in the next couple months to the end of the year. And people are going to go nuts. People are going to go absolutely batshit insane. But
I sold my house.
Honestly.
Jawad said, "Is ChatGPT? Can a ChatGPT answer what is a whammon?" I shared the wrong screen. Hold on. Yes, Jaw. It actually can. Believe it or not, I did this real time. And
I heard it's politically adjusted. That's what I heard. It had an adjustment where it's a certain political. Oh, here we go. Oh wow!
I said, what is a woman? It says a woman is an adult female human being, have distinct physical and biological characteristics such as the ability to bear children.
Oh,
the presence of 2 X chromosomes.
Oh my God! I can't believe it. Someone changed it. Someone changed the code. Who did it? All right, 4chan. What'd you do?
I think a lot of people are spreading some propaganda, to be honest, about ChatGPT. Because they want it to be the boogeyman so bad.
Okay.
They're just like, oh, this is just a leftist boogeyman, dude. Like this thing's gonna like convert all our children to gay people. Or
He's gonna turn all the frogs. Dude's gonna turn all the frogs.
He's gonna turn all the frogs gay.
It's not that great. I'm sorry. Look, hey, I would be the first person to be concerned about those things. Trust me.
Exactly. It's not as powerful as people think it is. Like,
no, this is bad. When propaganda is so bad, I can't even tell. Like, I went to what was that channel? Oh, I forgot what the channel was called, but I'll tell you later if I can remember it. But one of the YouTube channels was like, it's you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely leftist. You know, here we go. Yeah. You know, it's spreading that.
Now you can lead it in that direction, and that's one of the other flaws of AI is you can lead it to believe that that's the correct answer, and then every conversation within that chat is then going to be like on that side of the spectrum. So that's where I think people are grabbing these. They're basically berating it with propaganda, so it answers the question the way it wants it to, which is another problem when it comes to like actually trying to use it to solve your problems. If you give it feedback that is bad, basically bad feedback, it's going to keep sending you down that path of bad feedback. So that's why, as a developer, if you're using it to do all your work, just be wary of that.
Well, make a note of that.
It might not be correct, because I intentionally did it. Like, I intentionally was like, let's see how bad of an answer I can get from this chat bot. And it will just keep going, dude. It will just keep digging your grave deeper and deeper as you go. So, yeah.
So how did we get derailed on the last? It was because the chat. Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about the marketplace. It could do anything. And I was gonna just to add on to that. It's hard to tell if you should be bearish or bullish now. This paradox is too deep, because I saw Kramer being bearish, and then I saw Kramer being bullish, and then bearish, and then I saw Charlie from wherever being bullish. I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on. The fucking machine's broken. I don't know what's happening.
We might be at the bottom then.
The machine is broken. Start all over. The simulator isn't working right. Yeah,
how much is corn right now? I didn't check today.
And then you had Michael Burry. Say sell, and then he deleted his entire Twitter account after the run-up.
That dude has no shame. I don't know how he does it. Just I'm out. See ya. Like, come on, own it. You know, you messed up. It happens. Panicked. You know,
even broken clocks right twice a day. You know, I don't know, dude. I think so. Okay, real estate is. I wouldn't be surprised if it collapsed, because it has the similarities of a lot of other like things, like all the cascading collapses in crypto, right? It's based off of loans primarily, at least in the United States and really in all across the world. But and because of that, you know, it's going to have, when things fuck up, it falls further. But do I think like 20 years from now that land won't be like considered to be valuable? No, of course not, dude. Of course it will.
I'm just waiting for the bottom. I'm not trying to ride the trip down, you know?
I'm saying, dude. So
I already did that once. I don't want to do it again.
Yep, it's hard to do again. It's like hurts the soul.
Now, dude, like, okay, so interesting viewpoint. All right, so we are seeing deflation in some things, and I say deflation, but it's not really deflation. Like, it's not like money leaving like existence. It is just down. We're seeing deflated prices, right? We're also seeing inflated prices and other things. But prior to, we just pretty much saw inflated prices on almost everything except for the prices of things that are inflated now. Maybe just mildly, right? We have the Fed has been raising interest rates, right? Slowly but surely, but they've still been doing it. But we were already at a historically like kind of like a like low. We were already historically had very low rates if you like compare it to the rest of history. So it's not like rates are like the highest they've ever been right now, because they're not. But it still makes access to money, you know, just less harder, right?
Yeah.
A lot of other things are going on, but primarily we're still printing money. Money still gets printed regularly every time we have to, like, let's just say like in a video game, there was some kind of like war in this like Eurasian type of land, and let's just say that we had to send them like Gundam suits regularly, right? The Gundam suits cost a lot of money, And every time we draft up a bill to like send them $280 million worth of Gundam suits, where that money isn't coming from like taxpayers like wallets, right? Some of it does, but not all of it, right? And recently they were, what is Janet Yellen like freaking out about raising the what's it called? Yeah. So you guys know that what they're gonna do. They're gonna raise the limit for
the debt limit.
It's gonna be time. Every time for the machine. Like, printer time.
Every single time they have that situation, it's like, oh my god, we got to raise the debt ceiling, the government debt ceiling, and people are like, no, this time for real, we're not gonna do it. We're gonna put our foot down. And they do it anyway because they have to. Because if not,
it's gonna be really bad. Let me tell you something. You were talking about deflation prices, and I'll say one thing's not deflating. It's only inflating. Is them eggs. Every time I see those eggs, I'm telling you, it's funny, but it's sad. Every time I go grocery shopping, it's become now a dude. It's bad, bro. I'm kind of getting insane in that I take a note, and it's like when you back in crypto time, in the beginning around 2020, 2021, where you would write down the price of the crypto going up, and it would be. You would see whatever crypto you had. Let's say it was Bitcoin. You would watch Bitcoin go up, and your chart on your spreadsheet or on your notebook, it would just be like going up and up and up. And eggs is the same way. I'm like, I should have aped into eggs. What am I doing?
Aped into chickens. Got it right at the source.
I should have started a farm.
Do you know chickens are like $8?
Oh my
god!
Like
an entire chicken is like $8.
A fancy one is like 12 or 15, dude.
Yeah, man.
Chicken. If you want a frizzle chicken, it'd be like 12 or 15. But yeah, $8 to like $10 is like the price of a chicken.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna start another YouTube channel called Mouse Farms that just raises chickens. Mouse's Chicken Farm.
Dude, Mouse's Chicken Coop.
You're gonna start like your own Rule Zero. It's gonna be Egg Zero. All the egg tubers.
What's going on with that now? Is so did they all like did they have like a? I saw like the thumbnail and it was like the Rule Zero is over or something like that. Are they still doing it?
Really? I'm not sure. I know they were doing it. I saw last time like 2 weeks ago that they were doing it, but I'm not sure if they're still. I don't know. I can't keep up with that stuff.
Yes, Jonathan, it's over, dude. It's over, bro.
That's why we're on here right now, is because we all lost our jobs as software developers. Even Yin, who wasn't even a software developer, lost his job as a software developer.
How did that happen? How did I get here? Dude, I don't know. That makes me now suspicious now that you're saying it's all hype. That's definitely, I'm gonna have to fact check my stuff now. The old stuff.
Go and watch the last stream that I did, and it said ChatGPT took my job, and that's my answer. That's my answer. But we were talking about that earlier. No, not yet. Not yet.
So it's kind of like AI art. If you're good, it's not a big deal. That it's just a tool that exists out there that could help you if you want to use it. And if you're mediocre or bad, just flat out you suck, then you're in trouble. You might have to, really work on yourself. That's what it sounds like. Like it's not a threat if you're good at what you're doing, if you're just at least decent.
Pretty much. That's kind of my synopsis of it. And if you are good, it's an extremely good tool. Utilize it because it makes you look even better.
It expedites like the whole Google searching / like making a post on Stack Overflow, and you get to avoid all the galaxy brains,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try out something where I'm gonna ask ChatGPT about mechanic stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, that actually might be a good idea. Have you tried that?
I haven't tried it yet. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I should start asking it some questions.
You're like, hey, I see this on my dashboard. What does that mean? I drive this and this and this. Just start giving it info. It's like this could be the problem. Try that.
Yeah, I wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes with that. Because can it help me diagnose CAN bus systems and everything? Can it be like, yeah, I have this code and here are my voltage signals for low and high speed CAN. This is my wavelength. Can you tell me what's going on? That would be sick,
dude. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually. Okay, so it's not Ogre yet. The markets, I don't know, they might go to infinity, they might go to zero, so nothing's changed there. That's pretty much the same. ChatGPT isn't taking our jobs yet, as far as we know. And also, do you think that Bill Gates is behind the $20 access fee?
For sure.
It was right after the
He's got,
investment, dude.
yeah, he's got to recoup that 10 billion.
Yeah.
He's just realized he wasted on ChatGPT.
Dude,
No,
Microsoft wastes so much money. I can't believe they try to compete with YouTube with their little mixer experiment.
Wait,
that was such a
what was
disaster.
that?
You didn't know? You didn't know about that?
Uh-uh.
They wanted
I
to
honestly
do,
think the only reason Microsoft still exists is because of the government and DoD.
Yeah.
There is no
100%.
reason to
Hey,
use
bro, we
Microsoft
use Apple, bro.
products.
100%.
Well, I mean, I
Apple.
guarantee you're still using Windows 2019 member server in your environments. Like, I don't know that it just won't go away. Just Windows servers just will not go away. They won't.
Maybe for something, but nothing that I can think of.
Probably for Active Directory for authentication.
Maybe, but I mean, you're right about that. The government having their hands in Microsoft. It's just like they have like Microsoft's like, here, oh yes, take all of our software. Oh,
Yeah.
use us. And then also, I think a lot of because of like corporate software too, because a lot of it's built with MERN stacks. So I don't know. Microsoft's trash, dude. I'm sorry.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Forcing you to update is like the death nail every time I see that. Part of my friends, every time I see that shit, it pisses me off. I hate it, man. I hate it for work, for anything. It's awful. You come back to work, everything's wrong. What happened? Forced update. It's like, great, just kill me.
Same thing that happens on Windows 2019 servers for like whatever application you're running. Whyever you would run an application on a Windows server, you come back in the next day and like your entire environment's broken. You're like, oh, Windows updated and changed like a config somewhere. Now that we got to go chase down. It's the greatest thing ever. It's excellent.
Oh my God. OpenAI themselves are working on ChatGPT killer improvement. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, isn't it called? Didn't they change their name recently? It's called Evolve AI or something now. But they're like,
Did they?
They made some money. I just saw the thing on
Maybe they saw the Microsoft investment. They're like, nah, we gotta cut sling load on that one. We gotta go somewhere else.
Probably, dude. Probably.
Everything Microsoft touches turns to garbage.
Shit.
Pretty much.
I gotta say, I gotta give OpenAI some credit. It's getting smarter, faster than when I used ChatGPT.
They have good tech, dude. They have good tech, but like I don't think like you can't just start. You're not God. You can't just create sentient beings. There's a lot of people who wish that they were God, right? But like I'm sorry, you're just not. Good luck. That's fine and all, but nah, not yet.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not gonna be like a freaking sentient AI. I'm not okay with that. Just something about it, not a good idea.
I heard they don't like water.
Yeah. I also heard they're very racist.
Yeah, that would be weird. That would be so weird. Like, all right, which one of y'all did it?
Dude.
What's that?
I know what he's talking about. I've seen some of it before. Haven't they killed was it Twitter developers?
Yeah, it was a Twitter yeah.
Yeah, it like freaked out. It was like
He was losing it, yeah.
Read too many early life sections.
Yeah. It was reading Mein Kampf or something at some point. That part had me going. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. Singularity. Oh man. I don't know how long it would take for it to. I don't think it would ever be able to do that. Maybe. I don't know if enough people. You're saying if it interacts with it, it only will react to you in that way in your window, but it wouldn't do that everywhere, correct? Cody?
I don't know how I don't know if the learning model is like propagated throughout the entire system. I imagine there's some aspect of it, maybe like maybe they have it sectioned off. But yeah, I don't know, because like it seems to give me the same answers every time. Like when I keep asking it the same stuff in different chats or sign into a different account, it gives me the same answers. So it's not changing, like at least on the ground level on my side. But I imagine with how machine learning models work, that it does adjust somewhere in that machine learning model. I don't know where. Like I'm not that well versed in AI yet, but yeah, it's definitely. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it affects the whole thing or just. I know it affects your direct chat for sure. Yeah. I don't know if I would imagine it does somewhere. store the feedback that it gets from your chat. I just don't know where. Plus, that's another thing. Where are they storing all this feedback data? Like,
Yeah, good
Ooh,
question, dude.
that's a good question.
like the amount of infrastructure required to keep this thing running. And that's why people are like, oh, this thing's great. It's free forever. And I'm like, it's not going to be free forever. Like, there's no way. I'm surprised it's free now. There's no way. Because the amount of like compute power it takes to process this and then store all of that information, which they're using a cloud platform, they have to be. Otherwise, it would be slow as dick. Like, there's just no way. Like, the infrastructure behind it, there's no way it can remain free. Like, it's impossible. And hope to God it doesn't get stuck on Azure. Because oh man, like then it's going to be the slowest thing ever. Like,
yeah, we'll see what happens with their upgrade when they start. There's a wait list for this $20 thing, so that's going to max out.
I
sounds like
got a
Copilot.
feeling this is a fad. I got a feeling that something else better will come up, or that people just forget about it.
Yeah,
this is like Ask Jeeves right now. We're in Ask Jeeves territory.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what it feels like. So how would that work with? I'm trying to predict what the future would be like because then we had Google after Ask Jeeves. So I'm trying to figure out how that would a future where there's a Google version of not Google version, but you know what I mean, upgraded version of AI like that. That would be interesting.
We just get a bunch of like bombs dropped on us and all this disappear.
It just ends the world. And that's how we know. Like, oh, yep, it was that one. That was the one.
Oh, man. Oh, Jesus, Lord, have mercy. That's funny. End up in purgatory. Hey, this is a long-ass line. You can't get to heaven. This long line is like...
I'm going to skip that line, dude.
It's a wait list. It's a wait list to get judged. Oh, it's funny.
I was listening to something on the drive over here to the dirty swamps over here. Dante's Inferno. And... I've read Dante's Inferno when I was in high school, but it was like it was someone's like a commentary on it, and about the line in Purgatory. And I was like, dude, that would be so lame, dude.
As an adult,
it's a good book, bro. Yeah. If you recognize like all like he basically like made like he basically like took what was going on in his own life. And he just like all the people he didn't like. He's like, yeah, that dude. Yeah, he was getting like sodomized by Satan in like the 8th layer of hell. Oh yeah, you other guy that I don't like. Yeah, well, by the way, like I went to hell and your mom was there too. So like, it was funny. He turned it into like it was like Bible fan fiction. It's funny. Anna V says Google's advertisement is the only thing that is making them money.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, ChatGPT offering. Advertising options would make Google execs jerk the wrong way. Makes them obscene amounts of money. Yeah. Well, what else does Google get income from? Do you guys have any idea?
Yeah, I mean they have a cloud platform, but it's nowhere near. They give away too much free stuff on it.
I didn't even know about it. So
yeah,
maybe
it's nowhere near Amazon revenue status.
Yep.
But yeah, everything else they offer is free. So
yeah, there's always a catch to what they offer for sure.
Yeah, because they're using your data for advertisements on the back end, which is where they're making their money. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, dang, I'm getting a lot of ads. Dude, that's literally how that happened to me. I'm like, why am I getting so many ads? God dang it. I fell for the trap. Yeah. Nothing's free.
No.
So.
All right, fellas. Well, you guys want to tell them where to find you guys?
You go ahead, Cody. You go first.
Yeah, so you can find me one of two places. You can find me at Cloudology, which is in my name, and that's about like tech stuff. And you can also find me at Motor Mouse Garage, which is like car stuff if you're into that. So check it out. It's a good time. And I need to stream more on the tech side. But yeah, I'll be continuing this conversation sometime this weekend. But yeah.
That's good stuff, bro. I love it. You can find me at Zolian Podcast, the Zolian Podcast on YouTube. You can even type in, I think you type in ZolianYouTube.com, it'll pop it up right away. I talk about a lot of stuff that's going on around here. Dude, last month, this whole month, I was talking about the nonsense with Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro having these huge layoffs. Dude, it was a disaster. I've never seen such a thing. The toy industry falling apart. It's it really
Yeah.
wakes you up to what our culture, what our generation was and what the new generation is, and it shows you the difference between the two, because we're really, I mean, millennials, I hate to say this, but millennials were like the backbone for a lot of these economic growths, and now that like we've grown to a certain point where we have other responsibilities, you start to see the industries fall apart without our income. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
definitely got to check that out. Definitely check that out. You gained a lot of traction from that. Like your D&D stuff and your toy stuff is pretty interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm having fun. It's
Yeah.
dude, it's a whole new type of ball game. I can't even believe it. Uh-oh. Are you muted? Oh, I think
Might
you're
be
muted,
muted.
John.
Oh, yes. No, I'm not. I'm pulling the rug. That's it, guys. We're done. See ya.